For Commando provide engineering support to 3 Commando Brigade. We do a lot of manual method of entry, explosive method of entry to allow the Marines access into buildings.
Alright y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Okay, so today we're checking out the green dagger exercise. Now, prior to deployment, Marines will go on something called the Combined Arms exercise or Integrated Training exercise. And that's over in 29 Palms, California. It's sort of like a month-long training exercise that you do at like the squad level, platoon level, and then you go higher up to like company and battalion level stuff. So today we're checking out Green Dagger, and I think that's basically when the Royal Marine Commandos and the Army Commandos go to 29 Palms to do either similar training or the exact same training. So I guess we'll have to find out. I didn't know that the Royal Marines actually came and did training over in 29 Palms. I know the Royal Marines does training with us all over the place, so it makes sense. And again, this is a huge training exercise, huge training facility for U.S. Marines, so it makes sense that they would go and train there with us. So this is from the Royal Marines channel. Again, I've been getting this recommendation a bunch, so I'm glad I'm finally able to check it out. And from what I've seen, just like the first 30 seconds, the production quality of this is really solid. So let's get into it and check it out.
We are not conventional in this exercise. We're on the fringes.
Already a lot going on.
We're acting as commando forces.
Okay, so
Fringes. We're in the gray.
So when he says we're in the gray space, I think I know what he means by that. So in the U.S. Marines, at least, we use something called the Cooper's color code, and that's basically like black, red, orange, yellow, and white. So black is basically when you're in like shell shock. Red is when you're being like overwhelmed by something, so usually referring to like combat or something. Orange is when you're just like alert, and then yellow is like kind of alert. White is just completely unaware. So generally people like to say when you're in combat you like to be orange just so you're like tuned on, but then there's also like that gray space, which is basically like your muscle memory and your training just taking over, so you're just doing everything really naturally. So I think that's what they're sort of referring to. If I'm wrong on that, or if you guys would like to expound on that, please put that down in the comments section.
We're acting as commando forces.
Really good quality. I don't know who edited this video, but they need like a pay raise. 29 Commando, I'm not really familiar with them or where they're stationed at, or the armored support group. Really good shots though, I gotta say, it's so sick. All right, California. So I think
Commando battle group.
if you see all this, I think this is one of like our MOUT towns, which is military operations in urban terrain. So that's like one of the MOUT towns. I think there's a few, but I don't know, the MOUT towns are pretty big, pretty extensive, and pretty realistic. So really cool training.
We're here out in the Mojave Desert in California. We have got two fighting companies.
The
We've
Viking.
got 8 battery
Nice.
from 29 Commando. We've got a large section of engineers from
Hell
59
yeah.
Squadron, and of course we bring our own mortars and recce call signs.
All right, so a lot of people involved in this for sure. Oh, the Viking commander.
Armoured Support Group, the Royal Marines, are the 3 Commando Brigades protecting mobility specialists using the Viking platform. So ASG at the moment is operating
So
in 29
cool.
Palms out of Camp Wilson, and we're in the mock-up village.
Yeah.
So the Viking can be used as a
So the Viking would be a good thing. Like we've seen, okay, I gotta say the US doesn't really use it like this as much as they should or could. We've seen like other countries use these armored vehicles to get really up close and personal with the building. So like you might have some people cordon off a building, and then you have the armored personnel carriers actually go in and drop people off, which I don't know, I haven't seen too much. Generally it's like you'll be dropped outside of the village and then you have to do movement inside of it. But yeah, it's really cool training when you get the armored personnel carriers actually moving up to the buildings and then moving in and clearing out like that. So the Viking is a perfect vehicle for this for sure.
form of protected mobility, taking troops in and out of hot areas. So we can take it all the way to the front. We can use as a mounted fire support position. We can be used as a casevac capability.
Also
not
true.
only the ambulance, but also the troop carrying variants. A troop in armour support group is just expected to operate exact same as a troop within a fighting company. We've got that same skill sets. The lads have been to the fighting companies, so they're all over there, dismounted, roll.
It just looks so cool though.
For the modern commando, we know that they can pick up technology very quickly. We can rely on that hardened person to be able to work further behind enemy lines than we have done for some time. And then also having the intelligence to make some sensible risk deductions on how much they can get away with. Because ultimately it's going to boil down to the balance between survivability and lethality.
Yeah, so it's true. Like, you can use a whole bunch of advanced stuff like drones. I think they had the instant eye there. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, you can use drones. You can use a bunch of stuff to increase the survivability. But at the same time, it's not going to be foolproof, especially when you're talking about like CQB stuff. Whenever you get inside the structure, there's very little like advanced technology that can actually help you out at that point. So you're sort of weighing off like how much advanced technology could you utilize to reduce the risk, but understanding that there's still going to be a huge risk going on.
So we were operating as the enemy forces in a peer-on-peer exercise. We were just told to be a sort of a devious enemy, really. That gave us a chance to really delve into the sort of commando values and ethos, and sort of looking back to our forebearers. And he wanted us deep behind enemy lines, disrupting them, and causing a lot of disturbance for them, so that they were constantly thinking about what's happening behind them rather than focusing on the main fight. And that was pretty much the role of commandos in World War II.
Oh, that's pretty cool. They get to use tactics like that.
We were right down to the southwest, working in really small disaggregated teams. So we had an OP screen out, where we just stayed in those OPs for 3 days, anything up to sort of 7 to 9k away from the enemy. So we were constantly getting eyes on, monitoring what they were doing. And,
so kind of like
they had absolutely no idea we were there. It's moving more into sort of specialised reconnaissance rather than just the sort of normal stuff that we do. So being at reach away from your resupply, away from your
nice rifle,
puts a lot of focus on the younger lads to kind of step up.
Okay. Yeah, so I think they're saying either they're utilizing patrol bases, or I think when they're saying OP is an observation point, you can utilize a patrol base and then send out like smaller observation points inside of a village. But it's kind of weird with it's kind of different with an urban patrol base or urban observation post. You might have a lot more people than you would with normal observation posts, because when you generally think about it in the U.S. military, it'll just be like 2 people on an observation post, but they might be doing a little bit more, like maybe vehicle checks, personnel checks, so might have a little more people going on.
The right balance of skilled commandos to operate all of the different things that you see in modern warfare.
We got a Canadian there.
Be it controlling jets, controlling artillery, listening to electronic warfare collection, or interpreting the battle space in front of them, and then down also to closing and killing the enemy.
Hell yeah.
2-9 is Commando Artillery Unit, which provides offensive support to 3 Commando Brigade. Within 2-9 we have FSTs, so fire support teams, and we have JTACs, that's a combination of Army Commandos and Royal Marine Commandos.
Hell yeah, JTACs putting in work.
We provide the actual fire support with 105 light guns.
I like it. Some really good shots here though.
Fire serial, that involves 2-9's gun group, and they've been testing their ability to engage enemy targets at close range.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a really good training serial for the gun group, especially for young gunners who haven't done it before.
Yeah, direct fire with artillery is not something that you'll see happen too much, but it's really cool. Again, with 29 Palms, you get these training facilities where you can do a bunch of stuff that you don't normally get to do just because you don't have the facilities to do it. So you can really push the boundaries of what you're actually training on. I know when we were doing it, our mortars, our 60mm mortars, they were going handheld with their mortars and actually bounding up with us. So it was just really cool to see.
Pretty exhilarating, seeing the target you're engaging, which is pretty unusual for them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So they're on a gun position as normal, and then they've basically had a contact rear. They've then had to take the guns out of position, move them to another platform, and start engaging targets a kilometre away.
That sucks, but that's sweet. That's good training for sure.
So everyone at 2-9 is commando trained. They've been through the All Arms Commando course, and that qualifies them to work as part of 3 Commando Brigade. Everyone's got their own SQ. First and foremost, everyone is a commando trained soldier.
Hell yeah, that's badass. That sounds like a cool unit to be a part of.
Description at 2
Oh, the night vision now.
Is coordinating safe fires on the ground with the ground commander's intent. So
yeah,
we
the
get a lot of
A10.
training with the USMC, most of it being CAS, live firing and TTPs. With the aircraft that we've got so far, so it's normally AV-8Bs, Hueys, Cobras, and they'll come in with rockets and guns, which is quite good for armoured vehicles or troops in open, so it's quite good to mop up stuff that you haven't done with your CAS asset.
So I'm not sure what they're doing. I think that might just be lasing the target, which is awesome. I haven't been able to see that in person, at least like not right next to someone, but like lasing a target and just having like an A10 or something or a Huey just come and strafe that target would be so satisfying. There we go.
I also had support from the Canadians, the Griffins firing 50 cal and 7.62 from the door gunnery side life.
That must be
we've
fun.
Also had A10s and F-35 Alphas on the 6.0s.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of funding goes into this training for sure. Here we go.
So 2 Commando provide engineering support to 3 Commando Brigade. We do a lot of manual method of entry, explosive method of entry to allow the Marines access into buildings.
There we go. Hell yeah.
2
So much
Commando
fun.
have been training with the USMC here in 29 Palms, sharing our knowledge and integrating forces.
That's sick. Good cross training for sure. Especially with the breachers and the whole method of entry
The main
stuff.
exercise will see us enabling access to denied areas, utilising our mine and obstacle clearance skills, whilst also denying enemy the access through demolitions, traps and obstacle construction.
Jeez. Really nice cameras. Yeah, so anyone who's been infantry or anyone who's actually done any CQB stuff, like having breaching tools is one thing, but having engineers or someone who can do explosive breaching just makes it so much more easier to do anything. One, because you can get through a lot more like materials or doors or what have you, but it also gives you the shock and awe, and you can sort of just be a little bit more monotonous and deliberate as opposed to, okay, let me take out this breaching tool and breach real quick. So it's really good for initial entries like we saw them doing here, because again, it adds that shock and awe. Or you can also do like deception explosives, or maybe even like 2-man entries where you have 2 teams going in. So there's a lot you can do with it when you have capabilities like that. And building permitting, you can also just make a door in any wall that you want if you have the right breaching charges. So really cool stuff and a really good asset. Okay, a little love for the mortar teams here.
We're conducting mortar live firing concentration. So we're doing 3-day serials and 2-night serials. But as the week goes on, it'll get a little bit more complicated, a little bit more challenging. And then after this live firing concentration we do on our own here, we're then going to come together with the rest of the unit for part of the LFTT.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be like a huge exercise with everyone doing all this cool stuff at the same time.
During the MWX, we were sort of assaulting onto Hidalgo, and we were being used in a traditional or more conventional role at the beginning. We went through a bit of a fire plan as they were assaulting onto positions. And then into the second phase, we were acting almost as like an irregular force. We're still calling in fire missions, and it's working quite well.
Okay.
4 and 5 troop from Bravo Company.
That illumination.
They were fighting hard with the enemy and then falling back, and then when the enemy came into that area, we were able to call fire missions onto it. I think it was having quite a good effect.
Yeah, that's fun. Some good scenarios you can do here for sure. It's almost like limitless. Dang, dude, these freaking shots.
So
I really wish we had a freaking camera crew when I was doing stuff like this, because I mean, if you have the right cameras, if you have the right like editors, then everything just looks badass. Like they're literally just standing here looking at this illumination and it looks sick. It's like a movie.
Aerial systems that we can throw a camera up at night, and we can then assess where the enemy is, and then understand how much risk we can take to get close to him.
I've not seen that
What's
drone
different
before.
with Ghost is that, you know, it comes with that kind of tactical edge to it. It's built for soldiering purposes. It's built for finding people.
Okay.
It's always searching, it's constantly looking. This isn't just a drone with a camera, it's AI at the end of the day. We're going to see how it fits into our orbit, we're going to see how it helps the guys out on the ground, and we've noticed already it's proven to be a really good asset.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
you
not
need to
sure
be
what that
quite
drone
innovative,
was.
And willing to kind of push forward. We're testing the water with everything we're doing, and bridge the gap in between analog soldering and digital soldering.
I wonder how loud it is. It looks pretty like loud. It's like a helicopter almost. Giving love to everyone. That's cool. You could have some dude at a desk and they'd make him look like super badass. Yeah, I've not seen any production like this done by the U.S. Marine Corps or even the U.S. Army. But that was freaking sick. Okay, awesome. Again, that freaking production quality. Of course, the first comment. Anyone else notice the insane production quality increase on the Marines videos? Yeah, that was really, really solid stuff. Okay, so, I mean, it's awesome having this, you know, this crazy production being put into these videos, because then you have like a lot of people really get interested in it, because it really starts looking like a movie just because of the quality. Sometimes, like, yeah, you can be doing the most badass stuff, but if you don't have the right editing or even the right quality, then it might just like downgrade it a little bit or make it just not as interesting to look at. So really cool that they actually have that awesome production quality behind that. But again, they can literally take a dude who's just sitting behind a desk and make him look like the most badass guy in the world. So huge props to them. And again, it just looks like a lot of fun. You can do a whole lot at 29 Palms. Like, again, it's pretty much limitless with the scenarios you can make up. Again, you want to make it generally safe, and at the end of the day, you want to be able to integrate everyone in at the same time. And I think it's pretty easy to do that, especially with a massive desert. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. So if you guys have actually been to 29 Palms and done training like this, or even anywhere else, if you have like an equivalent, like a month long or just a massive exercise that you do over in your countries, let me know how that is down below. Let me know what the name of it is so I can try and check it out, find some videos. If you guys have any cool videos, feel free to drop those down in the comments section as well. But this is really awesome to check out. Again, Royal Marines and Army Commando. So I guess, yeah, I think it was 3rd Commando Brigade. So you have the Royal Marine Commandos and the Army Commandos working together, which is really cool, really awesome like capability to have when you have people who went through the all arms course, because you have everyone who's super solid, and then you just have this awesome capability of this massive unit to do these badass commando operations. And of course, if you guys liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Comment, let me know what you think regardless. If there's anything else you want me to check out, feel free to put that down below, even if it's unrelated to this. But yeah, definitely consider subscribing. I do appreciate it. I know you guys aren't going to be interested in everything I'm pushing out, but if you subscribe, I think the YouTube algorithm does a pretty good job of recommending something if it thinks that you're going to be interested in it. But yeah, it's totally free. I do appreciate it. I love seeing the subscriptions and recommendations from all of y'all who are coming to the channel and, you know, sending video links for what you want me to check out. So I do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Again, that is it for this one. So I will see y'all in the next one.